All right, welcome to another episode. And today, in the fantasy football spirit, we are doing a love and landmine session. So basically, we're going to cover a couple position groups. We're going to go over players we love, go over players to let your idiots teammates draft. So, um, without giving away the introductions, Josh, second time person on here, and Tyler is making his first appearance. So, Josh, if you want to say hi to everybody, and then we'll kick it over to Tyler.
Thank you for having me back, White. Good to be here. Yeah, I'm still Josh, still a two-time fantasy football champ, still a three-league commissioner, and OSU's biggest fan.
All right, and Tyler, what about your credentials?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me on, Wyatt. I'm glad to be making my debut on the political playbook. Um, as far as the accolades go, there's not a lot there in terms of fantasy football, but I will say I'm always competitive.
There's a
He
Cowboys
try
joke in there, but I'm just gonna leave that be. But
he tries really hard. It's the important thing. He tries his best.
A for effort.
yeah, he just can't quite get over the finish line. So I get it. It's tough. I mean, it's not easy being as good as I am at fantasy football, or Josh for that matter. I mean, so last year I won two leagues. I think I've won five total, so I'm a five-time champion, which not to brag or anything, but I think Saban only has six. Just a fact, right? So yeah, listen to me, listen to Josh. I would ignore Tyler at all costs. But you guys ready to get rolling or anything else we need to say?
I
Let's
think we're
go.
good.
All right. Well, we'll start at the quarterback position, and I'm going to go with a landmine. So, a player that is on a really good offense, but is way too high on his ADP is Josh Allen.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I think this guy is great. He's going to be an MVP caliber candidate. He's going to be the first quarterback taken off the board, but his ADP is all the way in like the middle of the third round. So let your idiot teammates draft him, right? Like the idea that, dude, in some of these leagues, this guy's going to go like 19 overall or 15 overall. Like, just laugh at your teammates whenever they draft him. This guy is going to lose you your league if you draft him that early. It's not worth it. There's a lot of depth at quarterback. There's a lot of, up and coming talent. Stay away. Don't do it. Don't be fucking stupid. Thoughts?
Yeah, third round, I would say, is way too early to draft any quarterback. I mean, Josh Allen should definitely be the first quarterback off the board, right? But that should not happen that early. Like I do agree that it's all about opportunity cost when it comes to quarterback. Like there's no sense in taking somebody in the third round when you can have similar numbers a few rounds after that. So that's about all I would add to that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm all for waiting till at least the fifth or sixth round to get a quarterback. Um, I've never had a Josh Allen, just because usually for me, I wait. So I think we can all agree on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
just to clarify as well, we're talking about what we're expecting these players to do in relation to their average draft position. So, like Josh Allen, like you said, is going to be an MVP candidate, but do you spend a third round pick in fantasy on him? No.
no, I think you phrased it as best as you could whenever you said like opportunity cost, right? Like he's going in the same ballpark as like, anywhere from like Saquon Barkley, like Chase Brown, Brock Bowers, like in that range. Like that's borderline heresy for me to take a quarterback that early. Like it would be one thing if he fell to you around like pick like 45, but if you're sitting there at pick like 24 and you're like, I got to take Josh Allen, otherwise I'm going to be sucking at quarterback, just fucking stop. Just don't take him. It's
Right.
not worth it. Unless, of course, you're in a two QB league, in which case this video is probably not for you. We're doing standard roster settings. So,
super flex or any of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Super flex, he's the number one overall pick. Unless you're in one of those, yeah, I'd probably stay away from that.
yep. Um, Josh, who do you got?
So I'm going to go with a landmine right out of the gate at quarterback as well. Obviously, Wyatt went to the top of the quarterback list. I'm going to go a little bit further down, though. And my landmine is going to be Jackson Dart. Okay. So this is already somebody that I think a lot of people already have doubts about. Obviously, there's the injuries, right? But something that I think isn't being hit on enough, though, is Matt Nagy calling the Giants plays this year. First year OC in New York after he went 6-11 with the Chiefs last year. Calling plays for a team that is this young after he couldn't get it done with Patrick Mahomes throwing to Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelsey, Hollywood Brown, and Rasheed Rice after he came back. If he couldn't figure it out with that group, he's not going to figure it out when Jackson Dart is out here throwing to a recently injured Malik Neighbors and Darnell Mooney. Okay, so average draft position for Jackson Dart is 76. I think that is absolutely absurd. I think you could have him a few rounds after that, and you could probably get somebody who you can count on a little bit more reliably around, round 9 or 10 for that matter, and, still be fine. So I think if you're looking at Jackson Dart, look somewhere else. What do y'all think?
I'm a fan of Jackson Dart. Do I think that the Giants' offense is going to be great? No, but I think where Jackson Dart's going to make up is is with his feet. I think he has the ability to make plays and extend plays. And as we've seen from last year, he's not scared to go headbutt someone, So I think he's going to have a lot of opportunity to not only pass but run as well. What did you say his ADP was again?
76.
He's QB7 as well, if that helps anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me just seems a little high. Like, not to
That
cut you
that does
off,
seem high. Yeah, no, that seems
because
high.
that's above. Here, listen to this list of quarterbacks he's above: Dak Prescott, Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Brock Purdy, and Caleb Williams. I'd say, in my opinion, he's so I just listed 5 guys, so 6 total. He's the 6th best guy in terms of talent, and he's probably on the 6th best offense out of those 6. So I don't know. I tend to agree with Josh. He was on my my landmine list, especially at where he's getting drafted. So
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Should have a good year. A lot of potential on this Giants team, but right now I think that's all it is potential, and it is wholly unproven right now.
Tyler, what makes you so optimistic? Is it just Jackson Dart, or is it the team around him that you seem to be optimistic about?
I'm a fan of Jackson Dart. I didn't know he was a QB7. So now I can see where you're coming from. I would definitely not take him. I don't think he's going to be top 10 fantasy. I mean, he could, but I'm just, it's the Giants. It's hard to expect that. So no, after hearing how low he is, or high, I guess, um, I'm in agreement with y'all.
Okay, fair enough. We swayed him, Josh. Our minds are superior. Tyler, if you want to go next, you can give us a love or a landmine. What do you got?
Yeah, I'll follow the trend with landmines. I'm gonna go with Jaden Daniels.
Okay, tell
He's
us about it.
his ADP is 62. He's at QB5 right now. I don't think he can stay healthy. Um, I don't think the Commanders' offense is very good. I know they just got Diggs, but him and Terry are aging. Um, I can't see Jaden Daniels playing 17 games. He's too skinny. I don't know. I don't like it. It's too scary.
Yeah, and I feel like with him, you're also counting on him to do a lot with his feet, right? Especially they got him at QB3. They got him off the board before a lot of really talented quarterbacks, and I'm kind of with you. Like, what's to fall in love with here, right? Like the offense looks, I mean, ancient is putting it mildly, right? I mean, Diggs, Terry McLaurin, they're from a different era of football, and like I got to be honest, like Ja'Cory Krosky Marriott doesn't really do it for me. I think that's who their starting running back is. He just I don't know what is to love about this offense at all. So he was on my list as well. Like actually both of y'all's quarterbacks were on my list. Kind of makes me feel good. But um yeah, Jaden Daniels, not a fan. Not a fan. Bust, don't do it.
Mm-mm.
This is like the hot girl on prom night with an STD. Like don't like listen, I get the appeal. I really do. I really do. But just don't. You're going to be way worse off in the morning. Just don't do it.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all. I mean, look, they are putting the weight of the world on his shoulders with the team that they have around him, and it's just not there yet. I mean, he's already dealt with, issues of durability. He hasn't really found his groove yet. I mean, there's just so much uncertainty around him right now. Um, I mean, it depends on where he could fall. Because, I mean, I do think he's going to be one of the top five quarterbacks off the board. It's just a matter of how far he falls as far as when people in your league are going to be drafting him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the value, like if you get him in, say, I don't know, like the seventh round, I think that warrants the pick. But if you have to go too early on him, like if people are picking quarterbacks in the first, four rounds, which they really shouldn't do anyway, in my opinion. But if they are, this is not somebody you want to spend that pick on.
Yeah, just too many question marks for me. All right, now switching attitudes a little bit here. We're gonna go to a love here, and I'm glad I get to lead off this category too. Dak Prescott. I mean, what's not to love, right? I mean,
Yes.
Tyler, they're Super Bowl favorites, aren't they? Right? Isn't that what
I
we
didn't.
read?
Well, I didn't say favorites. I said we have the same odds as Josh.
As the Broncos, right? Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. But yeah, no, there's a lot to be
They
optimistic
went pretty
about.
deep last year, so it's encouraging.
Yeah, I think we have a lot to be optimistic about. I think number one, like this offense is going to be red hot, dude. It's going to be just amazing. And then he's got two really like the entire offense of like weaponry is just really there's a lot to be in love with here. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. I don't even know who's better out of the two right now. Jake Ferguson is sneaky good, right? Like let's be honest, like when CD went down last year, there was a bunch of people that had Jake Ferguson that were like, "Good God, stay hurt, CeeDee Lamb." So, I think this offense is going to score a lot of points. I think Dak is a borderline MVP candidate this year. So I'm drafting him in a ton of leagues. So thoughts?
I, for one, agree with you 100%.
Got to play to
Um,
the audience. Got to play to the audience.
now, do you know what his? Did you say what his ADP was?
He's QB9. You could probably get him. It's probably like 80, something like that. So you're getting him for nothing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
His ADP is 87 right
yeah,
now.
okay.
yeah. In no world of fantasy football of any football should Jaden Daniels be a higher pick than Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? Like, look at the weapons Dak has. Obviously, you mentioned it. CD, GP, Jake Ferguson, is sneaky. But look at that line. It's a very young line. They're starting to get established. All right. And who's right next to Dak? Javante. He's not a superstar by any means, but he can go out and catch passes. He's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. He works hard. It's just it's too much to like to not take Dak Prescott.
So I got a question for both of you boys before I kind of give my take on that one. Let's say you're in the sixth round of your draft. Let's say Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Drake May are all off the board. You got Jaden Daniels, you got Dak Prescott. It's the sixth round and you don't have a quarterback yet. Who are you taking?
I mean, I'll go first. If you made me take, I would probably take. I would probably still lean Dak. I just trust my gut is go with the quarterback that's in the better offense, especially like there is a stark difference between these two. You know what I mean? So like in terms of like the offensive weaponry. So like I'm always gonna lean that way. And like who has the higher ceiling? I think we'd all have to like take some, truth serum and say Jaden Daniels. I just don't care. Because I don't play for, oh, what's the best ceiling 24/7. I just don't play fantasy football that way. So,
Yeah. Um, and I don't even know if I would if you're making me take a quarterback, yes, I would take Dak in
yeah,
that
my
position.
my my gut instinct would be to just wait, to be
Yeah,
honest. I think that's what Tyler was getting at too, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm with y'all. I mean that was more for just some entertainment value right there because I wanted to see like how out we all were on Jaden Daniels from the sound of things. But no, I completely agree with y'all. Though. I mean, there are just too many solid weapons in Dallas for to not give Dak a lot of serious consideration. Again, like we were talking about before, it's a matter of when and where. Like how early do you take him? How long do you wait at the risk of losing him? Things like that. I would 100% though. I would be happy with Dak as my starting fantasy quarterback this year. I think you're gonna have a solid year.
No, yeah,
If
no. Yeah, go ahead.
it if you go first four rounds, two receivers, two running backs, and you get Dak Prescott in the sixth, seventh round, I mean you're making the playoffs. Barring any injuries, obviously, you're making the playoffs.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
in pretty much any other team too. I mean, you've got two wide receivers in Dallas and Lamb and Pickens that could be wide receiver one on most teams.
yeah, no, I completely agree. I know we haven't gotten to wide receivers yet, and I don't want to give too much away, but I don't like or I don't hate either of the Dallas receivers, or any of the Dallas pass catchers. To be honest, like I think Jake Ferguson's going to be sneaky, and you can get him for basically nothing. So, I mean, yeah, I agree. Well, sweet. Out of respect for Jaden Daniels, we're gonna skip Josh as the fifth pick of this.
Exactly. We got to retire the fifth pick. We got to
Right.
pour the fifth pick out, especially after we just crapped all over Jaden Daniels for so
Yeah.
long.
I mean, just what an irrelevant pussy to just do that. You know what I mean? Like, just could you think of any more of a reason to hate somebody? I mean, good God. But I
The
digress.
the memes have been absolutely tremendous, though. I'll say that. Like
Oh
that's
yeah.
those are the gift that just keeps on giving. But to honor Jaden Daniels, though, I will go ahead and I will voice the fifth pick of this little list of ours. And I'm going to go with a quarterback that I love as well, both in terms of this list and one that's near and dear to my heart, and that's Bo Nix. So, Bo Nix, I will die on the hill if Bo Nix is healthy at the end of last season. Broncos go to the Super Bowl. That's number one, and I just wanted to throw that in there for the record. Uh, so, Bo, as far as that injury is concerned, he has fully participated in training camp. He's set to play in both of the remaining preseason games. He finished last year ranked first in passing attempts, 5 rushing touchdowns, 25 passing touchdowns, and all of that was before the Broncos picked up Jalen Waddle and before Davis Webb was in charge of calling the plays. And something that I think we're going to see a lot of this year is the fact that they spread the ball around everywhere. The first preseason game, the Broncos had 6 different receivers that had catches of more than 15 yards. So the bottom line here is that Bo's going to get a chance to sling it all year. And his ADP is 90 right now, 90. He is listed as QB 11 off the board. If you can manage to get him anywhere close to his ADP of 90, oh my God, you're going places. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I agree. I've actually had Bo Nix, I think the past 2 years in my redraft leagues and one in my dynasty. And he's consistent. He always puts up numbers. I don't know how his ADP is that low. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. I am a believer.
Yeah, I mean to push back a little bit, right? Ultimately I'm a Bo lover, right? Like he did a lot for me last year. He won me my league. I was actually got to watch him in the Monday Night Football game in Denver against the
Mm.
Cincinnati Bengals. Him and Cortland Sutton I had stacked and they won me my Monday Night Football matchup. It was unbelievable. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had in sports in general. So I have an affinity for him, right? Just naturally. But to push back, I think that offense is going to be like middle of the road. They're going to win a lot of games, right? But I think they're going to be middle of the road. Like I still don't even know how I if I like y'all's run game at all, right? Um, but to your point, I think he's got weapons. I think he's becoming way more comfortable in the offense. And I think you're seeing that like the best way to figure out like if the modern quarterback is comfortable or not is how often does he use his legs to extend plays rather than just chunk that son of a bitch out of bounds or throw a pick. So we're seeing him use his legs a little bit. Same thing with Trevor Lawrence, right? We're seeing them use their legs a little bit more. That's how you know they're getting confident. And that's like the one thing I feel like you can't coach. So,
Right. Yeah. And to that, you mentioned the run game. I mean, like as long as, our top two running backs and Dobbins and Harvey both stay healthy, I'm not overly concerned with that. And yeah, time will tell also, like just making sure that Bo is still going to use his legs. He is still going to be mobile and that kind of thing, coming off of, a broken ankle that, took a couple of surgeries to actually get fixed properly. But again, I'm liking the timetable. I'm liking where we're all at. What can this offense do? We will certainly see before too long.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, Tyler. Last one for quarterbacks. Close us out, brother.
Yeah. So for quarterbacks, I love. No, y'all did not take the one I was talking about earlier. And Wyatt, I'm so glad you mentioned him because the quarterback I love is Trevor Lawrence.
Gosh, man, I tell you what, not to cut you off, man, I was torn on who I speak out as my love first, Trevor Lawrence or Dak Prescott. And I'm glad somebody took him. So go ahead, honors all yours, sir.
Yeah. His ADP is 89, sitting at QB 11. I feel like a lot of people don't know this. He finished at QB 4 last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much all thanks to the second half of the season after his bye week. His first 7 games for the bye week, he was averaging QB 18 in those 7 starts. After that, QB 6, 20.6 points per game. After that bye week, like I said, finished QB 4. Um, he had the best numbers of his career in the back half. I think he stays hot. I think he's more comfortable in that offense with that new coach.
I couldn't agree more. I won't even waste my breath. Josh, what do you think?
I think that once he and Liam Cohen, the new coach, like once they got on the same page, I think things really started to click. Um, I don't know if I would go as far as to say that like I love him substantially above his ADP. I think he's going to be a really good fantasy quarterback again. I just don't know if I would like jump too high above where he's currently ranked in order to get him. Um, again, the weapons that he has in Jacksonville, you're looking at, Brian Thomas Jr., Jacoby Myers, um, just I don't know. I don't think I'm quite as high on Trevor Lawrence as y'all are as far as, this guy's gonna outshine his ADP. But yeah, I mean, I still like him, and the numbers don't lie. I mean, he was tearing it up at the end of last season.
Yeah. I just think he's figuring it out. So
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
cool. All right. Well, on to the running back category. Yeah, Tyler, looks like you're back up again, and then the order will be Tyler, Josh, Wyatt. So go for it. You can do a love or a landmine. What you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna start off with a running back I love, um, and that's Amari and Hampton. Right now he's in a running back 9, ADP is 15. He's kind of on the bubble between the first and second round, depending on obviously how many people you have in your league. Um, I think I just think he's gonna fit really great with McDaniel's scheme in LA. I think bringing McDaniel in is huge. Obviously, last year hurt him with the injuries. I was a believer in him last year. I drafted him in a couple leagues. Obviously, it's unfortunate that he got hurt and how to deal with injuries, but I think he can make people miss. I think he's electric, and I think he'll be for sure sitting in the top 5 to 7 ish running backs range comfortably.
I would agree with all of that. I mean, I don't know. The only concern I have with Hampton really is that they just run the wheels until they fall off of him. That's about my only concern with him. Um, but if he can stay healthy, yeah. I mean, he's an RB1, I would say, in a whole lot of leagues, especially deeper leagues with a lot more teams. Yeah, this is definitely somebody that's going to show up this year.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, like, for me, he's not necessarily somebody I'm just like, I would settle for Omari and Hampton as my RB1. I would not say that if he ended up as my RB1 that I love this pick, right? He's kind of like in that weird spot too, like where they try to, they're optimistic about him, but like I don't think like I'm not as high on him as you are. Like I don't think he's better than Chase Brown. I don't think he's better than Derrick Henry. I don't think he's better than Saquon. I think they're out of their fucking minds to have him be like a borderline top 5 running back. But there are reasons for optimism. Like Rashawn Slater's healthy, right? That big tackle, right? He was hurt fucking, it felt like forever last year, right? And then Hampton himself got hurt a little bit, right? So, and then of course, they have a good OC now. Um, I am curious if they're still going to just pound the fucking rock, and I'm worried if he can stay healthy if they do that. But I don't necessarily hate this. That like there were worse picks for what you just said, so I'll allow it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I just think McDaniels is creative. I I don't think they're going to run the wheels off of him, as y'all are saying.
Yeah. Did you see that he said something along the lines of, "We got 3 great running backs, and we're going to use all 3 of them"? Bad news is I can't tell you which games. Did you see that?
See Omarion as a guy who could be like a workhorse.
This feels super fantasy motivated. Okay, so there's good news and bad news, fantasy owners. Okay, good news is I see all 3 of those guys producing at a very high level. The bad news is I can't tell you which games those are.
That's fucking crazy, So that's, I think, the biggest reason I'm a little skeptical.
Also, I got news for him too. They don't have 3 great running backs.
Well, I mean, there's a reason.
Who's the 3
They have
running backs?
they have one good. They have one pretty good running back. They do not have 3 great running backs.
Well, if there's
And
one thing Mike McDaniels can do, that's fucking gauge talent. Let me tell you that. I mean, you know.
here's
So,
yeah.
Well, he turned Tua into an MVP candidate.
oh
I
shit.
mean,
Sure. I mean,
he
yeah.
knows what he's doing.
Here's the thing also is like running back is certainly not the deepest position this year in fantasy. So like if you have a this I would consider him in, the first 3 rounds for sure. But like yeah, I don't know if I would go quite that high.
Yep.
I think Amari Hampton should be a first rounder. And
Oh, for
every league
fuck's
that's
sake.
Wow.
every league that is over 10, Amari Hampton should be a first rounder.
So like 30% of the ESPN, you're out of your fucking mind. Um, that's fucking stupid.
All right. So we know who's on Tyler's draft list for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Josh, unless you had more to say, Tyler.
No, that's it.
Josh, what do you got? Who's your love or landmine for the running back position?
So I'm going to go Love as well for my first running back, and this is when I saw him this far down on the list, guys. I was absolutely shocked. That's David Montgomery. Okay, so David Montgomery's ADP is 76. He is RB 24 right now, and I'm going to tell you something. Is the Texans' offense necessarily set up for the greatest of successes? No, no, sir. But here's the thing: they're basing, I think, his projections for this year off of last year's season when he was playing second fiddle to Jahmyr Gibbs, who is by most counts going to be one of the top two, and in most cases, the top pick overall in most fantasy leagues this year. David Montgomery is still only 29 years old. He has played at least 15 games every season he's been in the league. And his career lows that he posted last year, which has led to these ridiculous projections that they have thrown up for him. Let me read them off here. 158 carries for 716 yards, which were both career lows in touches and yards. Give me a break. David Montgomery, I think, is going to outperform his ADP of 76 by a mile. I don't think a lot of leagues are going to be looking at this guy, and I don't think you really have to chase him too high. But if you can get him anywhere around the 6th or 7th round, I think you're getting an absolute steal.
I have opinions.
Why? Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Um, Listen, I would say the only benefit and the only good thing I can say about this guy is the fact that you're getting him for essentially nothing. So you're getting him at his floor. There's zero risk, but I would be cautious if you are counting on him. If your strategy is, I'm going to draft an RB1 and then I'm going to draft depth at wide receiver and I'm going to settle for David Montgomery as my RB2, it is going to be a long season because that Texas offense is one of the ugliest fucking things I have ever seen in person. It's down. Did you watch a game last year, Josh? It made me want to fucking vomit how bad they were on offense. And listen, a lot of that has to do with CJ Stroud. I'm not putting that on what Dalton Schultz or Nico, right? But at the end of the day, this offense is limited. The only reason they're even competitive is because that defense is fucking goated. All right. I can't get behind and I can't put my trust in an offense that's going to be that bad. And
And
go ahead.
I was just going to say, let me clarify. I'm not saying go out and draft David Montgomery in the 4th or 5th round, expecting him to go win you your league. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about his value in relation to his current ADP, was all I was going
Okay.
to say.
No, and I could see your point, but let me ask you this: would you be fine with him as your RB2, or are you saying this strictly as like a flex play with some decent upside?
I would say his ceiling, I would say, is RB2. I would be expecting more RB3 flex numbers out of him. But I do think that he is going to put up numbers that outperform players around the 76th draft position.
Okay. Well, then maybe we're not as far off as we think. I thought you were confidently sliding him into that RB2 spot, right up there with like Quinshawn Judkins or whoever else, right? In that same draft, like ADP range. But okay.
Sure.
Maybe we're not too far off. Does, and sorry, Tyler, I don't mean to hog all the time. Does Woody Marks concern you, that backup that they got getting some
That
time?
that's what I was going to touch on is what are what what's going to be the split between him and Woody Marks, because I know they like Woody Marks in
Right.
Houston.
Yep.
They like him a lot, but obviously I think they went out and got David Montgomery and had him as RB1 on the depth chart since day one for a good reason. They like Woody Marks. I think the absolute worst case scenario for David Montgomery is that they split more carries around the 65-35, maybe 60-40 range. And they do what the Lions did a lot last year, which is just put Montgomery in there to vulture the touchdown. So either way, whether he gets tons of touches or just a lot of goal line touches, where again, he was an absolute monster last year. I think either way, this is still a guy that you're going to be able to rely on. Again, RB3 flex range.
Yeah, I was more leaning to your side, Wyatt. Then he clarified. I wouldn't have him higher or expect anything higher than an RB3. But like he did with the Lions. He gets the ball in those goal line situations, and he can run a motherfucker over. So maybe he'll surprise us.
And
But I think
again,
his ceiling is a flex.
I would say in relation to his ADP,
Sure.
this is a value pick. Yeah.
No, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm not necessarily on board with it. You won't see David Montgomery on my fucking teams. I'll tell you that right now. But he's not somebody that you're going to lose your league because you took him where you took him. You know what I mean? So
Eighth round rolls around in your next draft, and I guarantee you're going to be thinking all about this conversation. Why? Don't lie to me.
not a fucking prayer. Um, okay, now it is my turn. I'm going to switch things up on us. I'm going to go to one of the hates, and I am going to go Devon Achan. I cannot say a bad thing or enough bad things about this guy. And it's not because of him. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he happens to be on the second worst team in football at best. And he happens to be on the worst offense in football. And really, the only upside you're going to have if you draft this guy is a hope and a wish that he's going to have enough volume to make up for the fact that his quarterback last year was Tua Tagovailoa, and he left, and their offense got worse. Think about that. Tua Tagovailoa leaves your offense gets worse. You're in a shitty offense, right? Like we're in bad shape, right? And he's going to be the only guy back there that can fucking catch passes and run the ball. And your best case scenario is that he meets his ADP. That's best case scenario for you. How about we just fucking wait, draft someone like Amon Ra instead, and move the fuck on? All right. There is no point to sit here and draft him, and then he gets either hurt or can't produce in that shitty conditions, and then you're pissed for the rest of the season from now until fucking December because you drafted a bad fucking running back. So, this is the one I'm the most confident in. Like, don't fucking do it. So, what?
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. Not to cut you off, but I can't agree more. Um, Honestly, like I don't even know. I don't even know if I would take him if he's there for me in the late first round, early second round. Like
I'll I'll go a
I'm
step
not.
further. If I had the 17th round pick or the 17th round pick, last pick of the draft, I would not draft this fucking guy. Wouldn't do it.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Do not, no, do not draft him expecting him to be your RB1, because it will not turn out good for you.
I've talked a lot of fantasy football with you boys over the years, and you guys know that there is somebody who lives seemingly every year on my do not draft list, and that's Devon Chan. I mean, look, last season was also the first and only season that he ever proved me wrong. The guy, I mean, look, and last season he did absolutely great. He put up just gangbusters numbers, but they have this man right now. His ADP is 12, and he is RB6 in fantasy. Are we watching the same career as whoever put down these projections? This man last season felt like the first full season that he ever played because the man is perpetually injured. I'm pretty sure he had played full seasons before that, but it felt like a lifetime ago. So no, I again, if he somehow, if everybody got on board with not drafting him and he fell to me in like the fourth round or something, yeah, I'd take him there. 12th though, which is his average draft position, absolutely fucking not. Get away. No,
Yeah.
I
And
ain't doing it. No.
I'll touch up on this just to cover my bases a little bit, and then we'll move on to Tyler's next pick. Um, I drafted last year in 2 leagues Christian McCaffrey, and you could make a lot of the same arguments for Devon A. Chan. Here is the difference, folks, because I'm tired of seeing all these people that get paid to talk about this shit say stupid stuff. It's aggravating as hell. The 40 to compare the 49ers offense to this upcoming Miami Dolphins offense, you ought to be lined up against a wall and shot. All right. The idea that what Devon Achane is walking into is comparable to what CMC was walking into last year, not even a comparison. I will not entertain such a conversation. Like I've stated my opinions on the people who voice such things. So I can't say enough bad things about these people. So
And the Dolphins' offensive line is also just living at the toward the bottom of the rankings. Like I think if you lined up, like if you ranked every team's offensive line, the Dolphins may not be at the bottom, but you can reach the bottom from there. You know what I mean?
100%. Tyler, you're up next, Cowboy.
Yeah. So obviously I've already done my love. My running back landmine is gonna be Ramondre Stevenson. His ADP is 79. He's sitting at running back 30. I think the Pats are gonna roll with Henderson a lot more. I think he's gonna get a lot more touches. I I don't like taking Ramondre Stevenson over another starting running back in the NFL. I think at best he should be the running back 3 on your team and put him in when your 1 or 2 is on a bye. I think he's too high.
I don't necessarily hate it. I don't know who I like out of the New England backfield because I remember, when preseason last year hit and Travion Henderson returned that kick in preseason and ran it all the way back, you just saw him jump about 30 spots live on the draft boards, right? And I was like, well, there went my pick. And honestly, thank God because he ended up being a dud last year. But if I'm hearing you right, what you're saying is that you're going to see a slow increase in the split to Travion Henderson, right? Am I hearing you right? Or do you think he's
Yeah,
already
I think
got it?
so.
You think he's already got it?
I think they're already planning on giving the ball to Henderson more.
I got
And I
you.
could be wrong. I'm not in camp with the Patriots, but that's just how I see it going.
Yeah. A little too risky for my liking, especially in that pocket, but you know, I I could definitely see this being like a league winner if that, but a lot has to pan out, but that's just my 2 cents. Josh, what do you think?
I think there's just way too much working against him to take him that early as well. I think, I mean, even though it was surprising. I just looked up how often the Patriots pass the ball. They are dead center 50% pass, 50% run. Which my point, though, and something that you guys touched on a lot right there, is that first of all, he's probably going to be splitting carries quite a bit anyway. On top of that, the Patriots went out and added A.J. Brown. They hung on to Hunter Henry. They still got Romeo Doubs. They still got Demario Douglas. Still got Matt Collins. Still got Kayshawn Booty. And they're going to want Drake May to use these guys. So, I mean, yeah, obviously you're still going to have to run the ball. You're still going to need a running back. But the volume to expect Ramondre Stevenson to, go out and win you a league from, what's averaging out to be a 10th round pick is absurd. So no, I wouldn't get on this train until much later in the draft. I think there's way too much risk here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's not on my landmine list, but he is someone I am probably trying to avoid. Definitely not like a do not draft. Like if you were in a pinch and you needed somebody, he'd do fine, I think. But you have to draft, and this is just my perspective. If you draft him, you have to go into the season knowing that like he's probably not going to get a huge chunk of the work until about week 7. So, but it's okay. We're allowed to disagree.
Did anybody disagree there?
I think Wyatt disagreed.
Oh, so you're liking him.
No. I think we were all saying that he was. I was just speaking generally. I wasn't saying that that's what Tyler was saying. But yeah, no. We're all saying don't fucking touch the guy, right? Like
I'm saying his ADP is too high to be comfortable taking him there.
Okay, so we're all in agreement. For some
I would
reason,
agree, yeah.
I think I thought he was your love, Tyler, and that's why I was
No.
like, "What?" Okay,
No.
I apologize. That's why. Okay, all right, fair enough. Josh, who you got? You're on your hate or are you on your love?
So I already did my love on running back, so I'll go to my landmine now. And I sure hate to keep shitting on the Giants, but my hate in relation to where his ADP is going to be is Cam Scatterbo. Because listen,
How
first of
dare
all,
you? How fucking dare
this
you?
is a guy. This is a guy who, yeah, not because I don't like the guy. I do like him, but also we got to think objectively about this. And the fact of the matter is, like I said a little bit ago, Matt Nagy couldn't, call a play if he knew every digit of its number. And also, Cam's style of play it's not good for somebody coming off a ridiculously broken ankle to play with the style he does. And on top of that, the Giants aren't even that confident in him at this particular moment because today we're recording this on the 18th. The Giants just signed Najee Harris this afternoon. So they're not that confident that Cam's going to play, the lion's share of the snaps right now either. So, he's projected to have 1,400 scrimmage yards this season. If he gets half of that, I would be shocked. I just don't know. There are so many unanswered questions right now that you're not going to get an answer to unless you draft him. And to draft him around his ADP of 43 is absolutely absurd to me. So what do y'all think?
I agree. I think the biggest thing is just the unknown of how he's going to perform after that injury. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. And I think everyone can agree that his career is not going to last very long, just from his tendencies on the football field. So no, I agree. I don't think he should be that high. I was never even really that high on him last year to begin with. I don't know. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like last year he caught some magic, right? And he, made some headlines and that was good and dandy, but like at the end of the day, like we're talking about a fucking psychopath that plays football. You know what I mean? Like, you ever seen like, they show this in movies all the time in like adult cartoons where it's like just this kid with a football helmet banging his fucking head against a brick wall. That's not fake. That's live footage of what Cam Scadaboo did from the moment he was born until he got to the pros, right? Like that's what he does. He's gonna be a CTE patient, it's 6 months from now. So if he doesn't already have it, he's gonna get hurt again. He's gonna, if it's not something with his fucking head. And again, I love the guy, like like as a dude.
Right.
But in terms of like, am I gonna try and win number 6 with him? Not a fucking chance, dude. Not a chance. They are out of their mind if they think I'm gonna draft him, especially for where
Yeah.
he's at. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's a shame too because again, like we all mentioned, he was so much fun to watch last season while he was there. But then
Yeah.
he got hurt and seeing the clips of him in training camp and in drills right now, it just makes me fucking sad because again, he's already like he's just not looking like the same guy that caught lightning in a bottle for
Hmm.
the first few games of last season, and it's a damn shame. But that's where we are. Sorry, Cam. Sorry, Cam. I love you, but yeah, not you this year, dude.
Yeah. Not a chance. All right, I think it's me to close out the category for us, and then we're on to wide receiver. So I'll go quick on this one. I'm stuck between two different people. So I'm going to go with the one that I'm really in love with, but I haven't actually been able to draft yet. So heads up for the three of us are in an upcoming draft. So nobody steal this pick, but it's Derrick Henry. Um, they say Father Time is undefeated, and I have Exhibit A down in Baltimore. So he's really good.
He's freakish big and freakish strong, and quicker than you'd expect for a man of that size.
It's unfucking believable that he's still able to keep this up. And people who are not gonna like this are gonna point to last year, and what they don't realize is that is the worst this offense is ever gonna be. They didn't have Lamar many of the games. They were down on the offensive line. The offensive line is now healthy, and they're not gonna run Lamar like they have in years past. And here's the big thing: this team is gonna score a lot of fucking points, and they are gonna win a lot of fucking ball games. So who do you think is going to score? I mean, I say he's good for 15 fucking touchdowns. So, I mean, just on the touchdowns and the 1,000-yard season alone, you've got a really good fucking floor here for an RB2, maybe a borderline RB1. If you got stuck with him as a consistent RB1, that would not be the end of the world. That's all I'm saying. So, I guess thoughts before
Yeah,
because I can continue rambling about. I will die on this hill.
no, he was one of my backups for if one of y'all chose my love. Um, I think he has a bounce back year. He's too good not to, you know. He's sitting at RB12 right now. There is no way in the world that there will be 11 running backs better than Derrick Henry this year.
Yeah, yep.
I think Derrick Henry is one of the safest picks in fantasy football. Again, if you can get this man as your RB2 somehow, if you're in a 10 because his ADP is sitting at 20 flat right now. If you're in a 10-team league and you can get him at 20, my God, you take him. Because yeah, like there is way too much potential still in Derrick Henry to pass that up. So no, I like it.
Yeah, I think like I like him so much. I would go on record and say I think he's going to have a better season than Devon Achan and Ashton Genty, who are currently being drafted in the first round or like the turn of 1 and 2. I think he's going to finish better than both. So, put me on record. But
I don't even feel like that take doesn't even feel that hot. Like
Uh-uh.
I agree with that.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Is there anyone else? It feels like, man, I'm looking at my list, and before we move on to wide receiver, is there anyone y'all want to quick mention you either love or landmine?
There was somebody that I had on my love list that you mentioned earlier, and that was Quinshawn Junkins
For
because
love or landmine?
love.
Oh, God. Ugh.
So his
Hmm. That
ADP,
offense.
right? Hang on, my God. So in comparison to his ADP, again, first of all, Todd Monken is notorious for incorporating running backs in interesting ways. There is so much uncertainty at quarterback in Cleveland right now that they're going to be leaning on him a lot. His backup running back is Dylan Sampson. Their wide receiver one is Jerry Judy, and God only knows who's going to be throwing to him. Basically, Quinshon Judkins kind of is this offense. And if the Browns had any resemblance of an offensive line, he would be even higher for me. But I still think he's going to outperform that ADP.
I'll leave that one alone just for the sake of moving on. But I could not disagree. That was just fuck. Tyler, what do you got? Or was there anyone that we left off your
Uh,
list that you're like, I got to at least mention them?
I would stay away from Tony Pollard or Tajay Spears. Just, I think the Titans are bad, you know, and
Yeah.
they're splitting reps. It's just not a good idea. I mean, if you can get Pollard as a backup running back, go for it. But he shouldn't be starting on your team, I don't think.
Yeah. No qualms with me. What about you, Josh?
No, I'm on board with that.
Okay.
And I feel like Pollard's getting drafted as a RB2 right now. And that's I don't like it. I don't like it.
You're in for a
Nah,
long
it's
season
too.
if that's your RB2, you're in for a long year.
That's way too high. Yeah, that
Yeah.
offense is not going to
Yep.
do that. Let's
So
stay away from that.
I'd stay away from that whole Titans team.
Yeah.
Just because.
I would. Yeah, I think I would as well.
Yeah, good call, Johnny. So I think I'll go real quick too, or quick here with these two players. So I love Kenneth Walker. He's going to be in the Chiefs' offense. He's Super Bowl MVP. He's going to score. That offense is going to score a lot of points if Pat's healthy, and he's going to get a lot of the carries with Pacheco in Detroit. Love him.
Yeah. He was my backup, like my number 2 if Hampton was taken.
He was my number 2 for nice.
Yeah.
Um, Second one, this one's a landmine. Jeremiah Love, way too fucking early for a rookie, in my opinion. You have started to see him slowly drop down draft boards. There's a reason. Don't fucking do it. All right? Don't touch the fucking fruit. It's forbidden. Don't do it. End of story. This offense is going to be bad. And when I say bad, I mean, this offense is going to be borderline Oklahoma State Cowboys of 2025 bad. We are talking
Easy.
borderline unwatchable. So
But you
That's
had
what he
me.
was. That's what he was dying to move on to right there. Jeremiah Love
Yeah.
was on my hate list, but now I'm just going to sit here for the next 30 minutes and argue with everything he just said. So if we can cut this out, no.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had me until that Oklahoma State comment, and then you lost me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Jeremiah Love's winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now was my take.
I
Like I
think his
said,
yeah,
Jeremiah Love was seriously on my hate list as well. I would this Cardinals offense. I am not on board with. These guys are so young. We have no idea what he's going to look like as an NFL running. No, no, no,
and
no.
and a lot of people are forgetting like they have James Conner and he's completely fucking healthy. Like they're gonna split it a little bit. Now listen, you don't draft a guy like Jeremiah Love to not be the lead back where they drafted him. But the idea that James Conner is not going to vulture some things for you and piss you off on Sunday morning is just not true. But um, last category. And Josh, you're kicking us off. So the order's going to go Josh, Tyler, Wyatt. Wide receiver. What do you got?
So somebody that I have had my eye on ever since he got traded is DJ Moore. So if DJ Moore, whose ADP is currently sitting at 68, I don't see a lot of instances where he's not going to quickly be the Bills wide receiver one. So, first of all, Josh Allen throwing to him is going to help a lot. And then behind him, as far as like, fighting for touches, he's going up against Khalil Shakir, who is honestly going to be his main competition. Dalton Kincaid, who always stays in the mix. Same with Dawson Knox to a lesser degree, and Keon Coleman, who toward the end of last season the Bills had all but cut out of the offense. So I mean, with the way Josh Allen can sling it, I just think that there's a lot of value to be had in DJ Moore. Like 68 feels very low to me. Um, I don't know where he's at as far as wide receiver rankings, but whenever I did see him that far down, I was very surprised. Like I think he's going to have a really solid year. I think he's going to be Josh Allen's go-to guy, and yeah, I'm on board with DJ Moore. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I agree. And DJ Moore is actually on my dynasty team, so I'm hoping that he turns into the wide receiver one. I agree that he will. Um, I think Keon Coleman's too inconsistent. Uh, I think Josh Allen has been waiting for a more consistent wide receiver, and I think he's going to take advantage. And yeah, I think DJ Moore is going to get the dividends of that.
Ever since Diggs left, yeah, that's how it
Yeah,
feels.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like if you're expecting him to be Stephon Diggs, uh no. It just won't. It won't happen. But I mean, I don't love it. He was actually on my landmine list. And I'll give you some brownie points. I think he's better than that wide receiver pocket around him. Like he's kind of sitting around like Jamison Williams and who else is on there? Carnell Tate and Mike Evans and Marvin Harrison Jr. and DK Metcalf. I like him more than that, if that's what you want me to say. But where were you thinking for him, like in terms of ceiling? You think he could be wide receiver one, two, flex? Like, what are you thinking? Because that'll basically determine if I like agree with this or not.
I don't think he's a league winner. I don't think you go above the fourth round to get him, but if you can get him in the fourth, I wouldn't mind that. I don't think I would go any higher than that.
So you're
And
talking like
also,
wide receiver two, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't hate it for what it's worth. But I mean, he's got a lot going for him in the sense that like that offense is going to be fucking good and they're going to score a lot of points. I'm more optimistic that it's going to go to James Cook than it is to um DJ Moore. Even though I think he's the best pass catcher in that offense for sure. But I don't know.
I would throw in there. So I just looked this up. So he is wide receiver 26 right now, and I don't know. That to me just feels absolutely crazy. Obviously, we've got to see where exactly he's going to fit in. And again, I am not saying, just for the record, to go out and draft DJ Moore in the third round or anything. But yeah, as far as value, though, if that's his ADP, yeah, I'd keep an eye on it.
I feel like this one's going to shock some people. I'm going to go with the wide receiver that I love. Give me Dejon Stripling.
You serious?
All right. His ADP, he's a rookie, just so everyone knows. ADP is 153, wide receiver 58. On the 49ers, who's catching the ball for the 49ers? I mean, Mike Evans is hurt. Pearsall's hurt. What is Pearsall out for the year?
Pearsall's out for the year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting a lot of buzz in training camp. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity. I think the value is there at 153. I think he's going to surprise people. Not saying he's going to be a league winner. I'm saying if all goes well, he could be an every week starter for some teams.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Yeah, that was what I was going to bring up is just like how I think he's going to do in relation to his ADP. And if his
Yeah.
ADP is 153, then yeah, I mean, because I'm looking at the Niners depth chart right now, and yeah, Evans was hurt last year. Debo, it seems like gets hurt for half the season every year. It feels like Christian Kirk has been very inconsistent. George Kittle stays hurt and is currently listed as out. So I mean, like, I think if you give him a shot, yeah, I think he might surprise you. So yeah, those later rounds, once you get into early teens, rounds 11, 12, 13, yeah, start looking at him.
I mean, I'll start with the positives. He's in a really good offense. That offense is going to score a lot of fucking points. They're going to win a lot of fucking games. And I think this can't go unsaid. You're getting him for basically nothing. However, with that said, reality at some point has to set in. He is objectively, like, when that team is healthy, the sixth or seventh best pass catcher on that team, and that's counting Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback. Okay, I I can't imagine a world where this guy is what Debo was a few years ago or anything like that. I just can't. I don't see the vision. And not only do I not see the vision, I think that like there is a lot better value you could get at that spot too. I think you'd be better off getting Brandon Aubrey. That's what I fucking think. So,
That's the
uh,
best kicker in the
So,
league.
so Tyler, just to kind of clarify your point too, are you thinking that he works his way into being like one of the top three receivers where he's on the field for substantial amounts of time, or are you thinking that somebody's probably going to get injured and he's going to get more chances then, and you'll have an insurance policy kind of thing? Like, which way are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I think kind of both. Like, I think he's going to get a shot early just because of the injuries right now, but I think he's going to perform really well. And I think he's going to work his way into being on the field a lot more. And,
Yeah.
y'all hit it earlier, like, or I guess, Josh, you hit it earlier. Injuries on the offense in the San Francisco Niners San Francisco 49ers seem to go hand in hand. Kittle, very frustrating for me. He's on my dynasty team. He's my tight end. Always hurt. Pearsall, hurt. Debo is, I mean, are we serious about Debo? Like, does that signing really matter? Like, is he even in shape? You know what I mean? Um, I'm pretty sure Mike Evans is hurt already. You might need to fact check that, but
I think he's
it's
Uh,
just,
healthy. He's healthy.
is
I think
he?
he was hurt. I think he was hurt last year. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what broke his
Yeah,
1,000 yard streak.
that's
But I mean, I don't know,
I
dude. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I just I think he's gonna surprise some people.
I'll tell you what, you talked about surprising people. It would surprise me if he caught more than 2 touchdowns and caught more than 20 balls this year. If he does that, I would say you got your money's worth out of him. I don't even think he's going to do that, to be honest. I mean, here's the thing, this offense is good. It's red hot. It's going to win a lot of football games, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of fucking mouths to feed. Most importantly, being Christian McCaffrey. And depending on whoever else is healthy, they're going to get the lion's share of the targets. You got to think, like Christian McCaffrey, dude, if he's healthy, he's going to command 120 targets,
That's
right?
a big if.
He was healthy all year last year. And you know what? And they laughed at me when I drafted him, Tyler. Do you remember that? Josh, do you remember that in that league? You laughed
well.
at
I
me.
mean, Wyatt, even a broken clock is right twice a day. I mean, at long last, he
Twice?
was finally
Twice? You
healthy
mean you
for a
mean the
full.
two-time champ? Is that what I heard? Twice? Two-time champ?
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
So if you would listen, then you might hear something of what I'm saying. And last season was the first season that he played all of the games, and I couldn't tell you when. So yeah, I mean, you guessed right.
Look, all I'm saying is that this seems more like a wish more than a strategy. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just
Well,
I think he's going
he's
to bring
not
more value than where he is.
he's not saying to go out and draft him in the fifth round or
No,
anything,
no.
but like above where he's gonna be, yeah.
I'll stand by what I said. You would get, and I wasn't kidding, you would get more utility out of drafting Brandon Aubrey in the same spot because he's the best
Brandon
kicker
Aubrey
in the
is the
league.
best kicker in the league.
Yeah.
Of course he's going to score points. Like he's going to be gone by when I would even consider taking Stribling.
Okay. Well, at least we're
So
in
I
agreement on
don't think
that.
that point is valid.
What do you mean it's not valid? You agree with it. What do you mean it's not valid?
I'm saying Aubrey's already going to be gone. Like that's an unfair comparison. You got the kicker one who does score a lot of points versus my love of Stribling, right? Who I'm not saying is going to go out and win your league for you. I'm just saying at his ADP at 153, I think he's going to bring a hell of a lot more value than that.
Well, hey, hey, stop the press. I mean, apparently the best kicker in football is more valuable than a wide receiver four that somebody's drafting in the 15th round. So the more you know.
You just don't like it because he's an Oklahoma State alum.
That's not even true. Oh my God.
That's so
Let's leave
true.
politics out of this. Let's leave
Right.
politics out of this, okay? Um, all right, listen. Is there anything else we would like to say about what's his name again? Is it Rayshawn Struble, something like that?
Brandon Aubrey was the name that got brought up about 15 times over the span of that segment. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Um,
was Cade Klubnik.
that's a
I didn't know. I did
bastard.
not prepare for us to talk about kickers. I mean, yeah.
That's fair. All right, all right. I'll keep us rolling here. I'm gonna go with a landmine here. I'm gonna go with Nico Collins. I had Nico last year in a couple leagues. He won me 2 championships. Decent floor guy. I think he's handicapped by his quarterback, and this is just my opinion about where he's going. Like, I mean, he's sitting at Josh. Do you have his ADP pulled up by chance? Because I'm sitting here, and it looks like he's at about 24 ish.
So his ADP is 28.
28. Okay.
Yeah.
So, not the best spot. I just like the other pockets in that spot a little bit better. And at the end of the day, I think this offense is going to be bad. Like, I think what you saw last year is about basically what you're going to see this year, but, it's a copycat league, and we're going to figure some stuff out. So, I don't like him. I'll just say that. And it has nothing to do with Nico. I love Nico the player. If he got traded, this dude could very much be a love player. But the fact of where he is, I'm like, no fucking thank you. So,
As the ninth receiver, because right now he's wide receiver 9 and his ADP, like I said, is 28. The only thing that I can look at as far as, something positive to say about him, obviously, like you said, very talented as a receiver. If he was somewhere else, if he was set up for success better, sure. But the only thing that I can see right now is like the amount of volume that he's probably going to have because he's going to get like whenever they throw the ball, they're going to be throwing it to him more often than not. Because behind him, we have Jaden Higgins, Tank Dell, Xavier Hutchinson, Dalton Schultz. Not exactly a killer's row behind Nico fighting for his touches. So, I mean, that's about it for me. I also think that he is ranked way too high as wide receiver 9 and at ADP of 28. I'm with you there.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, and it pains me because he's currently on one of my rosters. Um, but I don't trust Shroud. Um, I don't think the offense is going to be very good. I think that's too high to be comfortable with.
Yeah. And listen, I'm
Plus, like
not
I said
saying.
earlier,
Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, like, look, I mean, if it's one of those things where he falls to you, that'd be fine. Like, I'm not saying you can't draft this guy. I'm just saying that if you draft him ahead of guys like AJ Brown or Rasheed Rice, like, you are fucked. You understand? You're fucked.
Yeah, somebody else that you just mentioned, a nice little teaser in what you were just saying there. My landmine, my final one of the night is Mr. Rasheed Rice. So, am I saying he's going to have a bad year? Probably not, as long as he can keep his ass out of trouble. I think he's still going to have a solid year, but is he worthy of being drafted 22nd, which is what his ADP is? I don't think so. I think there's way too much uncertainty with Mahomes. I think Xavier Worthy is still going to be in the mix again as long as he's healthy. Travis Kelsey may be washed, but he's not dried. So, I mean, he's still going to get his while he's around. And all of those are just external factors. This isn't even taking into account the fact that Rasheed Rice can't seem to stay out of trouble. So, you don't know if he's going to play a whole season. You don't know if he's going to get injured. You don't know. There's just so many uncertainties to me. And to me, as long as Xavier Worthy's around, I still think, for the value you could get in him, I don't think you mess with Rasheed Rice in the second round, which is where he's tending to go right now. What do y'all think?
I'm so torn with Rasheed Rice. I did when I saw that earlier. I did think he was a little high, and that's just because of his off the field issues. Um, I don't know how often he's going to be on the field. But I at the same time, and it's a big if at this point. If he does get his act together and doesn't get in trouble, I mean, the guy's a playmaker. Like he can make anyone miss. Patrick is Patrick Mahomes. Like he didn't go anywhere. Um, Worthy, I think a lot of teams are going to be worried about Xavier Worthy just going deep, and I think it's going to open up a lot of routes for Rasheed Rice. Um, I don't know. I, I I feel like I feel like he's in the right spot. I wouldn't say that I hate it, and I wouldn't say that I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too far off from that. I mean, listen, whether or not I mean, if you think let's just go, the assumption is that he's going to play all 17 games, right? And if you go based off that assumption, then I think he's rated about where he needs to be, right? So it pretty much like whether or not he's going to kill your draft or win you your league is going to determine on like who did you draft in round one, and then like how are the pockets like in like round two, three, four, right? Like if you because to be honest with you, like whenever I look around his like ADP, I like that running back pocket a lot of Saquon, Henry, Brown, Walker, and then even like Hall and Hampton are down there too. So I like that running back pocket a lot. So if you get, Rasheed at the turn of like 2, 3, I wouldn't hate it. You know what I mean? So um
Yeah,
I
and
don't hate go ahead.
I think on that note too, I think wide receiver this season is going to be so much deeper that that's all the more reason to stay away from him and maybe hit that running back pocket that you're talking about. And not only that, but also we got to remember too, he had knee surgery 3 months ago.
Mhm.
So like that was technically just a quote unquote cleanup. But I mean, he still had a knee surgery and he's still getting ready to play football in 3 weeks. So like, yeah, he's probably sitting out the rest of the preseason. And then you really don't know where you're at. The Chiefs haven't really released a ton of information about that. So all I'm saying is that there are a lot more questions than there are answers on Rasheed Rice. And I don't think you're going to get those answers until too late. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, I do got to say this. Like, I'm pretty high on Rasheed Rice too, obviously. But like, I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to command over 100 targets. He's going to be in the 1,000 yard club, and he's going to be in the neighbor. Like Pat Mahomes is throwing him the ball. He's going to be in the neighborhood of like 8 touchdowns. Okay, and like as far as pass catchers go on this offense, like y'all keep bringing up Xavier Worthy. Get the fuck out! Like Xavier Worthy couldn't hold a candle right? They're lucky he's allowed in the same locker room as Rashee Rice. The only question about Rashee Rice is he going to be a dipshit and be on the field, or is he going to be in handcuffs, right? Like that's the real question. And if you're willing to take that risk, then I say you go for it. Like there's a huge like that's probably why he's as low as he is because when he's on the field, there's no question the kid can fucking play. So I think really your question is, do you think he's going to play or not? And that if you think he's going to play, then I'd say it's well worth the risk.
I I agree. With most of that, the Xavier Worthy comment I feel like was wild. Um,
But and I wasn't saying that as a
like
dig.
I
Like I
just
mean that sincerely. Like you think
you did say that as you said he's barely allowed in the same locker room as Rasheed Rice.
I meant
You
it
mean
as
it's a
a
first round draft pick?
I'll say this. I'll say this, and I mean this. I want y'all to know I am dead serious when I say this. Xavier Worthy is closer to, let's see who their wide receiver three is, Tyquan Thornton, than he is to Rashee Rice.
Even though he and Rashee Rice finished last season with the exact same number of targets.
Rashee Rice was hurt.
There you go.
I think you have Worthy all wrong. I just don't think there were a lot of pass catchers for him the past 2 years. Rice was out. Tyreek Hill's not there anymore. It was pretty much Kelsey and Xavier Worthy. I mean, who do they have? Smith Schuster for a year. Like, I'll go ahead and transition to the guy that I don't like. That's Marvin Harrison, and it kind of hurts because I like Marvin Harrison. I think he's in a very bad situation. Um, his ADP is at 71, wide receiver 33. I just wouldn't touch any of the Cardinals. Like I said, I just think it's a bad situation. The offense is going to be bad, but they're going to be bad in every factor. Um, I don't know. I wouldn't touch him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even the best pass catcher, right? Trey McBride is better than
Right.
he is. And then even if you just condense that to wide receivers, like I think that what's his name, Michael Wilson. I'm like going
I
off the
think.
Yes.
cuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he did a lot late in the season. He basically pushed one of my buddies through to the championship game, So, and I'm not saying he'll replicate that all season, but I'm just saying that this is a bad offense, but there's a decent amount of mouths to feed, and Jacoby Brissett and him just do not seem to be on the same page. I mean, you guys had to have seen the fucking training camp memes, right? Like you guys, where he's just dropping shit, like his hands are made out of fucking bamboo. Like it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
That was going to be one of my points. The drops are concerning. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth with a lot. There's somehow a lot of mouths to feed and also so many question marks here. Because, yeah, Brissett being the quarterback is, a choice to begin with. Um, how much are they going to use Jeremiah Love? How much are they like? I still think, like you mentioned, Wyatt, like Trey McBride is probably still going to be your top pass catcher, especially with Brissett being the quarterback. He may not be trying to air it out to everybody a mile down the field every time. Michael Wilson being still in the mix. There is so much going on here for nothing to be getting ready to go on. Like this, like we've said like 10 times already, this offense is probably not going to be all that good. And yeah, for what did you say his ADP was? Oh, I got it pulled up right here. 90.
71.
Oh, 71. Okay, we must.
That's what I had.
Yeah, we must. Well, unless it dropped since we took our notes down, I just pulled him up here. 91 he's dropped to. So, yeah, if he's at 71, then absolutely fucking not. If he's at 91, probably not. But
I would just put him on a let your buddies who maybe don't know the most ball, who think oh, Marvin Harrison Jr., he was really good at Ohio State. Let them pick him and just, let it be.
I couldn't agree more. Like somebody's gonna have to draft these people. Let it be them. Let it be them. Don't let it be you. Um, sweet.
Because
So
it
I got
will
your.
happen. It will happen.
Oh, it
I
happens
mean,
every year, every
yeah.
fucking time. Every fucking time. All right, last one. I think it's me with the love, and I'm going to go. I am torn here because none of my loves got taken, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, I thought I'd have to cross off a few names to be honest. So, I'm gonna go with this one more so because it's a want than maybe the smartest pick, but I think Emeka Ibuka has a lot of reasons to be excited. So, Baker's in a contract year. He's trying to play pissed off. He's, in a shitty division with a lot of bad defenses. The offense will be middle of the pack, but really, and like this is the biggest selling point for me, is that, Chris Godwin is old as hell. Mike Evans is no longer there. And I forget the name of their running back, the backup, Rashad White. He left, so now it's just whoever they have. I think,
Bucky Irving.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bucky,
Bucky,
yeah.
who's good, right? But there's a lot of targets up for grabs. They can't help but go to Mecca. And I had him last year whenever he was, or whenever Mike Evans was out in the early part of the year. That dude feasted. When Mike Evans came back, he didn't score a touchdown the rest of the season. So, because the target shares in the red zones all went to Iron Mike. So, there's a lot of targets, a lot of red zone targets up for grabs. They're all going to go to a Mecca. I think he's going to finish well above his ADP. So,
What is
thoughts?
his ADP?
45 is
Yep.
what I'm seeing right here.
Yep. So, middle of the fourth round.
Yeah, yeah. I think you could be happy with taking them in the fourth round. Um, I don't have much to say on it
And
above that.
second year wide receiver. I mean, it's just good luck, CeeDee Lamb,
Yeah,
Jamar, Justin Jefferson. It's just a thing.
and yeah, he did come from Ohio State.
True.
They breed pretty good receivers. It's pretty ironic given the fact that I just put Marvin Harrison Jr. on my do not draft list. But no, I agree.
So I am nowhere near. I'm not saying he's going to have a bad season. I am nowhere near as high on him as you guys are. This injury thing with him is continuing to just drag itself out. The Bucks said today that quote they are unsure how long he'll be sidelined for. Um, with a receiver, anytime you hear toe injury, you always just kind of go, well, what? Like but for a receiver though, this is something that I don't know if this is going to be a headline going into the regular season. I don't know if he's going to miss time, but that's kind of the point. Is like, there are still, even though Chris Godwin is old and coming off just a horrific injury, Bucky Irving is still around. Um, I don't know. I still think he's going to have a solid season. I don't think I'm quite as high on him as y'all are, and there are some concerns here. But yeah, I mean, I still think he's going to do well. ADP of 45 is kind of right on the bubble for me.
I would have him on my list as a very strong wide receiver too. Like this to me is not like a flex play guy. I think this guy could be a very dominant wide receiver too. In the deeper leagues, maybe even a wide receiver one. Do you feel like that's overstretching it a little bit, or do you feel like that's kind of right where he's supposed to be?
I
No,
wouldn't.
I think that's right where I would put his ceiling is like bottom of wide receiver one to upper middle wide receiver two. I would say I think that's pretty solid. So yeah, in that regard, yeah, I'll agree with you.
I wouldn't go that far to say wide receiver one, a deeper league. I think he's a very good wide receiver too.
Yep.
Well, he was, yeah, like 12 team leagues, though. I mean, if this is what you're working with and you got the 12th and 13th picked, then yeah, I mean, you could do worse, right?
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Cool. Well, I think
Who,
go ahead.
so who were, you said you were very torn. So, real quick, you want to name off who your other two loves were that you were trying to choose between?
So I had three, but I kicked out Devontae Smith pretty quick just because I was like, it's a run heavy offense, and I feel like he's a pretty popular one that people are echoing out. Jalen Waddle and Christian Watson were my other two.
Yeah, I had
It's
Jalen Waddle on mine.
just based off of the ADPs that I've been seeing like change. It seems like Jalen Waddle, people are kind of catching on that he's going to probably do a little bit better. So I was leaning really the two. I narrowed it down to Christian Watson or Emeka Ibuka. So,
The
but
only two concerns that I would throw out for Jalen Waddle at all would be his durability and the fact that Sean Payton has a new favorite receiver every single week.
seems to be. I mean,
But
was it Troy Franklin? One of them. Every is that his
yes,
name? Yeah.
oh
Fucking.
yeah, oh yeah,
I had Cortland Sutton last year, and while reliable for the red zone targets, it could be frustrating sometimes watching fucking Broncos games. And I'm like, all right, 3rd and 7. Bo Nix doesn't even look at that side of the field. I'm like, oh
yeah,
god, they're killing me. But
yeah. But no, I love the Jalen Waddle play. I'm very excited for my Broncos to have him. So we'll see how he does.
yeah,
So.
who would did y'all have either more hates or more loves that y'all were like, it feels like we got to mention him right before we sound off.
I felt so bad that I chose somebody else on my hate list because I shit on the Giants so much already, but I would stay the hell away from Malik Neighbors.
The Titans, the Cardinals, the Dolphins, and I would put the Giants at the top of that list of, maybe we just stay away from this whole team.
Yeah. And you
You know?
hate that too for the Giants because it's a young and exciting team, but I mean I don't trust any of these people.
Right. I mean, outside of, do they have Isaiah Likely? Is that where he ended
They
up?
do have Isaiah Likely now, so I think that's gonna help. But again, Neighbors coming off of tearing the hell out of his knee. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch him. Wouldn't touch him.
Well, plus he's got to play Caleb Downs twice a year. You
Oh
know,
God.
That's that. Tyler,
So
that's true.
so he got that going for him.
Right.
you didn't see his reaction when he got drafted. You know, he was he was petrified when when Goodell said Caleb Downs is going to be a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah.
That's right. Meanwhile, Tyler was just sitting in Malik Neighbor's house, just sitting there staring at him. He's got his reaction recorded
He was
somewhere. If we can
he
find
was
if we can
on
find it
he
if we
was
can
on
find the
Micah
clip.
Parsons' show, his
Yeah, well,
podcast. It's out there.
uh,
Just gotta look.
Isn't that ironic? Tyler,
Right.
who'd you have that we didn't mention that's worth mentioning?
I think Brian Thomas is going to do better. And that's playing off of my love pick for quarterback and Trevor Lawrence. I think if he plays good, then Brian Thomas is going to play good. His ADP is at 68 right now. I remember 2 years ago he was getting drafted in first, second round, early second, late first in 12-man leagues. I know he's underperformed a little bit. I know he's had issues with what was it, drops. Um, I'm not saying reach too high on him. I'm just saying if he's there around the 60 mark, 55, 60, I think he's worth taking a shot on. Um, I don't
he's
know.
not he's not he's certainly not having to fight for touches in Jacksonville
Yeah.
because yeah, he is a huge part of that offense. So I think yeah, that alone. I mean, depending on where you're at and what you have, yeah, I'd give him a look.
I don't hate it. I mean, you're not going to lose your draft. I mean, like I said, he's one of the, and I've said this a lot in the podcast, but you're getting him for nothing, right? Like it's, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that's nothing.
Well, what's his
So
ADP?
I've got
68.
It's not
really.
nothing, but I don't know that you. Well, I got to be honest with you. That's fucking high for me. I don't know that
I've
you
got
do
it.
that. You do that, Tyler.
I might.
I don't know. I've got it pulled up on ESPN's fantasy. This is saying his ADP is 107.
See, that's more what
Really?
I was thinking. And if that's okay, that's what I was talking about. You're not
Well,
getting him for
whenever
very much.
yeah, I mean, whenever he said Brian Thomas, and I looked up his ADP on here, I was like, yeah, I would take him before the 10th round, sure.